Hello and welcome to a professional tutorial on Phasmophobia, and this is a big shout out to a couple of our Phasmophobia friends who learn through a visual way of playing Phasmophobia rather than just reading a big old guide. I thought that maybe this would be a good idea or a good opportunity for show you just a strat on another good way of clearing Phasmophobia runs in professional mode. But for this instance, this is purely tutorial and a how-to, just in case if you want to maximize a little bit on how to play the game and get those fat rewards, not gonna lie. Today we're just gonna go with a small map. We're gonna go with Edgefield to give you a good feel on a smaller map. This map is probably a good one to use because there really isn't a way to outrun a hunt, so it is a good way to show you how to not get hunted by a ghost, kind of just dodge it altogether, and I'll show you a couple of ways to do that here. Obviously, saving sanity is going to be one of them, so that's going to probably be the big thing I stress in this whole video. So the tools that you want to bring, I will go through every one of them one by one, and a reason why. So obviously you start off with an EMF reader, but it's always good to have two, because if you put one in the back of the room and in the front, you double your odds of getting an EMF reading and a potential EMF 5, because the EMFs can read two different readings at one time depending on the severity of the activity and the location of the ghost. So it is good to always bring two. You always start off with one photo camera. If you're going to solo, it is always good to bring two, just in case if you get a lot of fingerprints. Because usually in some cases, they'll just put fingerprints all over the place. Then you have extra photos for them, photo for the ghost. If you're doing farmhouse, you'll have some extra for the voodoo dolls or anything else that's extra. So it would be good to bring two, just in case if the amount of evidence and interactions you get exceeds the amount of 5. If you want to bring 3, just in case, I mean, you can. There really is no reason not to, but generally, if you're by yourself, it's always good to bring 2. One lighter, obviously, you don't need more than that if you're playing solo. Candles, you can feel free to bring 4 if you want, but if you are trying to speed run, just bring 1. The candles are good because they help prevent sanity loss at a very large rate. And for the sake of professional, I'm going to show you one way of opening up the boards that do require a candle for a maximum amount of efficiency on saving sanity. Now, you obviously start off with the UV light. I like to bring 2 because if you get lucky enough to get ghost orbs, or even beforehand, I'll show you a whole setup with this. UV lights are good to throw on the floor, just in case if there's feet prints. So if you bring 2 and you throw both of them on the floor in opposite directions, you double your chances of getting feet prints on the floor. Obviously, Crucifix helps prevent the hunts, so they are good to bring 2. If you get lucky enough and you only bring 1 and it's a small room, consider yourself lucky, because it doesn't really happen all that often. But it is also good to bring Crucifix because it is an objective that you will get on occasion. So you do also start off with 1 video camera. I like to bring 3 because that's good 3 angles. You can bring as many as you want. You can bring 6. It's not very often that a ghost will glitch where, like, the ghost room will read in one room, but you might get a ghost orb in a different location. They have since then patched that, but it is very rare that it does happen. So if you want some extras, bring some extras. But it is good to go ahead and just bring 3. And go ahead and attach the 3 tripods with it too. Salt is always good to bring for the objective. And if you find that you're still struggling with the area, you can always try to find a path with the salt. So even if it's not an objective, still bring it just in case, because it is good to try to throw it on the floor and see if you can find a walking path. Smudge sticks, always bring 4, because if you're having troubles trying to find where the ghost room is, you can use smudge sticks to hide and have them go around you so you are safe. They're actually very, very useful. especially for solo mode. And if you're in an area where you're going to be very far away from the door, but close to the ghost, it is always good to have a smudge stick and a lighter on hand, just in case, so you can make them go around you. So bring as many of those as possible. For solo mode, you only really need one flashlight, but for what I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring all 4, and I'll show you why later. Motion sensors, you really don't need more than 3. If you want to bring 4 to maximize your amount of length, in case you're having an issue trying to find an exact location for the ghost, feel free. I mean, I do encourage you to bring exactly everything that you feel you might need necessary. If you want to just hit that all button on everything and just bring everything, that's fine too. There's really no reason why you shouldn't. Sound sensors, I really don't use them, but I think in this instance I'll try to use them so I can show you how they work and what it looks like when they work. Thermometer, you only need 1 if you're playing by yourself. Sanity pills, I always bring a max amount. And yes, I am the Phasmo pharmacist. I need more sanity pills. That's all I basically ever spend my money on. Ghost writing books, same concept as the EMF reader. Always bring 2, because if you put one in the back of the room and one in the front of the room, you'll have a doubled odds on getting ghost writing, which is evidence. Highly recommended if you're doing it in the prison as well, because those B blocks and A blocks are so long. It is very good to have one in the front and in the back to help maximize your chances of a potential getting writing. Infrared sensors, these are completely optional. They are absolutely not mandatory in any way. So I like to bring 4 anyway, because again, if you're having troubles finding a ghost room and you want to expand your options with trying to see if you can locate the room that the ghost is in, feel free to bring these light sensors, because if you put them on the wall and the ghost walks in front of it, they will illuminate and you'll be able to see that they are in that area, which gives you a better indication of where they are. Parabolic microphones became really useful ever since they did this new update with the temperatures. So I will show you the use of a parabolic microphone. Only going to bring 1 though. I don't know why I put 2. Glow sticks, same concept with the UVs. Throw them on the floor and you'll be able to see footprints. But glow sticks are really good in larger maps, because if you don't really know your way or you get directionally challenged, you can use glow sticks to throw in intersections, and you can help light your way towards getting back to where the truck is. So it is always good to bring 2 glow sticks in that instance. Solo play, you never, ever, ever are going to bring a head-mounted camera, because you're not going to be able to see yourself from being inside the building at the truck at the monitor. This is clearly only for pairs or more. You only bring head-mounted cameras if you're playing with another person. And now that we have our all set up, it's time for us to go into the board. Yep, ghosts have been known to stalk their victims in the dark. A lot of times, that's when they get the most active. If you keep the lights off and try to talk to them and say, "Where are you?" Yeah, they will come out a lot easier in the dark. So if you really want them to pop up so you can try to get that picture, obviously keep note of your sanity, but they will be a lot more active in the dark according to the ghost type, although most of them are very active in the dark anyway. So, yep, just keep that in mind. So what we're going to do when we finally load in is we are going to take a look at the map. If you can see the map, there is a green indicator. In this case, it's the Edgefield, it's the brick house. It's in the garage. It is always good to note where even in intermediate and amateur modes, it is always good to look at this and find out where your generator is, so that if the ghost ever turns the generator off, you know exactly where it is to find it real quick. In professional mode, one of the best things you could potentially do, grab a lighter, turn on a candle, actually keep it on you, grab a flashlight, load up the candle, and go grab that generator first. Because now that professional mode was upgraded, where you need to have the generator on in order to get temperatures, it's always good to bring the candle so that you don't lose sanity and go turn that generator on and then come back later to find your objectives. Turn the lights on leading to the generator area, because on your way back you're going to be able to have lights that lead you out, which if any case that you were to drop your candle by accident, or in some cases you're just dropping sanity anyway, even with this on, you still have lighting on your way back, so you still save sanity on the way through. That's another really good tip to do. And on your way back, if you want to peek into each of the rooms on your way back, like I said, and see if you can spot the bone, that puts you a step ahead. If you want to, while you have the candle, go and try to find the bone so that you can save yourself even more sanity. That's an encourageable idea too. But just poke inside and just do it real quick. It's not like that's really one of the biggest objectives. If you get lucky, then you get lucky. And unfortunately, we're not really getting too lucky. But that's fine. At least we tried. Best thing to do when you get that generator on, make sure all the hallway lights are on. Oh look, there's the bone. Now see, we did all that work in a short amount of time. If you went in with just a flashlight, you would have dropped down a good maybe 10% from doing that a little bit. As you can see, we barely even dropped at all. So that's a really good strategy when setting up your board, is to make sure you have your candle ready and you have your lighter with you just in case, because if your candle goes out, which some ghosts will turn your candle off, at least you can light it back up at any time. So we're going to put them down because we don't need them right now. Since the update, parabolic microphones have actually gained a really good use. So in which case, start off with the parabolic microphone and the spirit box, because when you find the room that the ghost is in, you're going to lose the most amount of sanity by using the spirit box, because you have to turn the light off in order for it to work. So it is always good to get that done and over with, out of the way, so that you can work with the rest of the tools in the light and not have to worry about dropping sanity so quickly. So what the parabolic microphone does is it picks up sounds. If you flip a switch, or anybody else flips a switch, you can see the numbers raise. But if nobody is moving doors or flipping light switches and you see a number move on the parabolic microphone, that is a good indicator that that ghost is in that area. So we're going to do a quick sweep of both the downstairs and the upstairs, see if we can get this number to change. Or if we get lucky, maybe we'll see some activity on the road. If we don't see anything upstairs, we're going to have to check the basements. But for now, let's see if we get lucky elsewhere. Generally, I'd like to give it about... Oh, see? It hit a 4 in this room and nothing was even touched. Good indicator it might be this room. We're about to go find out. Are you here? Where are you? How old are you? Are you far? Usually that works. Are you far? Where are you? Are you here? Generally give this about 30 seconds or so. If it doesn't work, then feel free to go ahead and try some other stuff at the same time. For argument's sake, I'm just going to check the bathroom just in case. Although I have a strong feeling it's not in here. Are you here? Yeah, as I thought. Where are you? So this very well might not be a spare box ghost. So, one thing you could do to really help out your maximization with getting tools into the truck is drop, if you find the room, drop your flashlight leading towards that room and leave. Might be a little scary the first time you do this, but there's a reason for it. On your way back, you can do this in any order that you want. You can either do EMFs, or you can do books, or you can do UV lights. However you want to do it. Grab both. Grab another flashlight. Once you find the door, simply throw your second flashlight towards the door so that you have a way out. You can still sort of see inside this room. Now you have a flashlight that's leading towards the ghost room and a flashlight that's leading out the door. We need one more flashlight in that room, and then we will be officially good to focus on getting the rest of the stuff up there that we need without having to worry about if the generator blows. We'll still be able to see where we're going, up the stairs. Now we can see coming in and leaving. Now we can see when we head up the stairs. And now we can see when we're actually in the room. If you want to put it literally in the room like such, you can do that too. But you can still, if anything drops, or if the lights get switched or the generator drops, you'll still be able to see. Now that you have yourself a path, you can now grab 3 items at a time. 1, 2, 3. And start maximizing your transportation of tools going to that room. If you do any doubles from this point, it is good to go ahead and bring a camera. We'll see if there's any fingerprints. Nothing so far. Even if it's not the correct room, like say in this example, if I found that this is the absolute incorrect room, it doesn't matter, because we still have a great amount of sanity left. We can just turn on all the lights and just move everything to the next room if that just so happens to be the wrong room. We're going to check. When you're going in and out and you're doing all that work trying to get stuff in there, the temperatures in the building are rising. So if for some reason you're not getting any evidence, just like we're not right now, now would be a good time to bring the thermometer. The thermometer is the quickest way of finding out where the ghost room is. Thermometer. We'll bring our candle just in case if we have to go to a dark room. And now you can see the temperatures are all up. So now it's free to go ahead and just do a quick one over of all the rooms just to double check our work. As we can tell, it is not downstairs anywhere at all. So we're going to go check that upstairs one more time. Let's see. Poke it in this room. Nothing. Poke it into this room. Surprisingly, we might be wrong because it is not reading under 10 degrees. It may be in a different room. Look at that. We were in a completely wrong room this whole entire time. But you know what? That is A-okay. because now that we know where the actual room is, we can reset ourselves up efficiently. There we go. Now we have our path leading to the ghost room, and we can see, just in case if anything gets turned off, we will grab our spirit box, because like I said, that's the thing that takes the absolute longest. We don't need the candle just yet, but we're going to leave it right there so we know where it is. Turn the light off. Also, turn the flashlight off if it's in the same room. Are you here? Oop. Where are you? Oh, look at that. We have a response. Nope, that's too close. As you can see, we have 2 pieces of evidence already. Big recommendation, do not mess with the book if you are by yourself with the evidence. As you can tell, we've got spirit box, we have freezing temperatures. If you find 2 pieces of evidence, this is the best time to scope through and see what the evidences are for the ghost types. So we have demon, mare, wraith. These are the potential choices that could come out in a ghost choice. Demon, I can tell you right off the bat, is ghost writing as the 3rd choice. There it is right there. So the other 2 we have to look at are mare and wraith. So a mare, we are looking at ghost orbs. Wraith, which could walk through walls, is fingerprints. Being said, we aren't necessarily going to need the EMF readers, but it is also good to use those, because sometimes, even if it's not an EMF ghost, just the activity that comes from the EMF readers could also indicate the severity of the anger coming from the ghost. So we'll put 1 book there. We'll check for prints, since wraith is a potential choice. Nothing. Not even in the rooms next to it. As you can see, it's a ghost worth light switching. And it doesn't like to stay in one room. We're going to go ahead and just transfer everything right on over. Book in the bathroom as well. So the reason why we do not have the UV lights on just yet is because ghost orbs are a potential for ghost evidence. So we are not going to turn them on until very last. Once we put 2 cameras in there, that is when we will put the UV lights on and see if we get lucky with any kind of evidence for feet prints. For those who didn't know, wraiths absolutely do not touch the ground. You will not get feet prints with the wraith at all. Nope. And it looks like our setup is pretty good. We just need one more video camera, so we'll go grab that and see what other objectives we have. Any other time, if you see anybody playing and they're just going in there with a flashlight, they would have been down to 60% by now. And here we are with almost 25% higher than that amount. All that work, only lost 15% sanity on average. So, smudge stick seems to be another objective, so we're going to do that as well. So we have one photo or video camera in the back facing towards the bathroom. The second angle that we want to go for is leading towards the door. So we have a cross for evidence, looking for ghost orb, leading towards the door, leading into the bathroom. Now you see this is the perfect example. The ghost has turned the light off. We have a lighter. We'll light the candle up. And we'll just simply go turn it back on. And still keep a good amount of sanity in the process. Just like that. And we probably only lost about 1 or 2% sanity just quickly grabbing the candle and going back upstairs. This does happen on occasion, so it is good to make sure that your candle and your lighter are nearby. So we're going to quickly smudge. And we get dirty water in the sink. Look at that. EMF 2. You could see the EMF 2 through the book. Now that we have our setup, let's turn the light off. Let's see if we get lucky. In a house like this, we really do not have a great chance at outrunning the ghost. The only place that we can go to is the living room. And in the living room, we can run around the couch and see if we can outrun him that way. But obviously that's not ideal. And it's a mare, because you can see that there is a ghost door by the door. So in which case, it is a very good idea to bring all of the smudge sticks upstairs if you want to try for the crucifix objective. Just for the sake of the video and trying to show you what to do to save the sanity and be able to play efficiently, I am not going to get this objective, but we'll try to get the other one at least, which is the ghost event. Okay. The higher the sanity, the more chance that it's not going to become active. And what really gets a mare going is keeping the light on. Mares don't like it when the lights are on. Keep your candle inside just in case. Keep it in a location where you know you can find it. Put the lighter right next to it. If the lights go off, that's fine. At least you know where the light is. So all you have to do is just light that candle and go get that generator one more time. Now from here, you would go ahead and call the ghost. Unfortunately, I don't know what the ghost's name is because I just never paid attention. But mares generally tend to be quite active even if you're not saying anything. But you can still ask it general questions like, where are you? Show yourself. And just generally taunt it until it decides it wants to poke its head out and just start screaming at you. Like that. EMF 4. That means its activity is getting pretty high. Let's see if we got that objective because he screamed in my ear. Couldn't have asked for better timing though. That was pretty good. Look at that. There's that objective. Only lost about 28 to 30% sanity. Got all the objectives. Found out what our ghost is. The only thing that's left is Crucifix. But again, for the sake of this video, this is just to show you how to do an efficient run with professional mode with a visual, and hopefully this, by trying these little tricks out, you're able to build up your confidence in trying to ghost hunt and basically become more dependent on your skills, a little less frightened by the ghosts. Yeah, I do hope that this video does help you at least a little bit. And feel free to not worry about getting that Crucifix objective if you're playing by yourself, because it is hard to tell sometimes if the ghost has hunted you and you did prevent the hunt with the Crucifix. If you are by yourself, the only way you can tell is if a Crucifix disappears, and by then it could potentially be too late. If that happens, what the best thing to do is to make sure you have a smudge stick on you and that lighter that would be there in the bottom. Find yourself a hiding space that you won't be seen in. So in this case, with this house, you'd want to hide in the bathroom. The bathroom is right over here. It's very close. And if you shut the door, the ghost cannot see you. And you have the potential of using the smudge stick if it gets too close. And you have 90 seconds from the time you light that smudge stick to be able to leave. Now, that bone. It's time for us to go get that bone. Don't forget, when you go to grab that bone, always snap a photo first, then pick it up. That counts as double bone evidence. You get the actual interaction for bone, and then you get the actual evidence for picking up the bone and taking it with you. And then that's it. Now, I know we already did everything, so real quick, I'm going to show you what these are for. So these are the infrared sensors. This is what these look like. They look kind of like E.T.'s cousin in a brick form. If you put these up on the wall, like 1 and 2, if they walk in front of it, you will actually see those lights glow. I'm hoping that it actually does it at least once. But if not, like so, that's what it looks like when they walk in front of it. It'll glow that nice light green, and then you know that they are in the area. This one is most likely in the bathroom because that's where it tends to be the most active. Yep, see, I wasn't even near that infrared. Yep, see, there you go. Same concept works with the motion sensors. You plop them down, they walk in front of it, and the motion sensors go beep. You can also see them from the truck. So, if we grab our motion sensors right here, 1, 2, head back in. Motion sensors work the same way as the light sensors, except sometimes you will actually have an objective for these. In this one, we don't. But in some runs, you will actually have objectives for the motion sensors. So plop them down. When the ghosts walk in front of it, they will turn a green color. So one in the bathroom in case he comes nearby. Ghost event. EMF 2s. When you plop down your motion sensors and go back out to the truck, you will notice that on the map there's going to be 2 lines that show up in that room. If it turns green, just like you see right there, the ghost has walked in front of that motion sensor, and you know that it's part of that path. So that is actually one good space that we put that motion sensor. Sound sensors work a little different. They take up that corner of the map up there. These little white things here. So they also get hung up on the wall as well. You can put one here in the room, here in the bathroom, so that they can hear everything. There is actually another strategy that players have now been doing to find the ghost room, where they will put the sound sensors up, and then when they step into that area, you can see that is where the teen girl's bedroom. Yep. When it steps into the area, you will actually see that is where the activity is and the potential of where that ghost could be. It also affects the map on the left side because the sound sensor will cover that large of an area. But it looks like the main focus that it's working on is what's called the teen girl's bedroom, which is where we just were in. Which is kind of strange, considering that teen girl's bedroom has a double bed with 2 pillows on it. I'm not going to question their parenting. It's okay. And then lastly, glow sticks. There are 2 uses for this. You can plop down one by the door, like I said earlier, and you are able to use that as your way of getting out. Or you can take the glow stick, throw it on the floor, but in this case, we're actually going to throw it in the bathroom. We are going to throw this UV light right here, and we're going to throw this UV light crisscross facing in the opposite direction. Sometimes you'll get lucky if the ghost is not a wraith or one that will touch the ground. You will see these little green feet marks that show up on the ground. I don't think we're going to get it in this instance, but that's fine. So this is the reason why you'd bring 2, so you can crisscross them, get them more broader path, so you can try to get those feet prints. And if you find them, take a camera with you and just take a picture. In bigger maps, you would use them to basically put them in the junctions if you are not good with directions, and you can use them as kind of like waymarks to making yourself be able to go back to the exit and leave without any issues. As you can see, we still have our huge amount of sanity, and that is how you turn a professional run into a rather easy run. Then we leave, we go home. Job well done. I do hope that this has helped out quite a bit. It's only $10, maybe a little bit more just because of the multiplayer being on professional mode, but that's okay. Again, as I said, if you are doing it by yourself and you are just not comfortable doing the crucifix, that is okay. That is pretty much... It's pretty much for a good challenge if you want to try to get that extra for the money and for the experience. It's not really that much. I mean, it's 40 experience, but you have to consider your losses as to what you'd gain for it. If you are by yourself and you're not quite experienced enough to do a run where you are able to get the crucifix and you're just not comfortable with it, that's okay. You don't have to do that, because if you were to try and you're not quite up to par with being able to outrun the ghost, or you just forget to bring the right tools and they catch you anyway, you'll drop down to a very minimal amount of experience and money gained, and you would lose your equipment. So overall, you would actually lose quite a bit more than you would gain. So until you are able to build up your confidence, don't even worry about that crucifix objective, just simply because you don't want to miss out on any of the rewards, basically. And if you're just not confident, go into the lower levels and just basically practice how to do a hunt and just outrun them. And once you finally get that practice in and you feel like you are more confident with being able to outrun a ghost, then try it out in professional mode. In amateur, they hunt for 30 seconds. Intermediate, they hunt for a minute. In professional, they hunt for 2 minutes. So take the time to get the practice in the lower levels and build that confidence so that you are able to increase time from amateur being 30 seconds to intermediate to a minute. And then when you try really testing out your skills in professional, hopefully this strategy that I showed you helps out a lot. And if there's anything that you feel that you do differently that might also be good information, definitely post it, and let's hear your strategies and what you do to make your runs a lot easier. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to end this for now, and I hope that it was able to help you out, and good luck in your hunts. Take care.